So we brought you the news over the weekend that Cadillac Racing had officially been confirmed as the 11th Formula One team for the 2026 season. Now, this was already agreed in principle. It was pretty much a formality at that point. The Formula One teams that were already existing in Formula One, the 10 teams that are currently in the series, had already accepted them, and the FIA had already previously approved them before. Now the FIA has officially ratified that it is going to happen. And there are 4 names that have emerged for the 2026 season to make their, well, in some cases, debut in Formula One as a whole for Cadillac's F1 debut too. Now, I've hypothesized about who could actually drive for Cadillac in 2026 before, but that was quite some time ago. That was around October, November time, I think I made that video, when the announcement was officially made that Cadillac was going to join the grid. And yeah, let's have a look at the 4 names. Let's have a look at the drivers that could well drive for Cadillac in 2026. And I'll give my thoughts about how likely those options are at the end of the video. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. Formula One and the FIA have finally set in stone Cadillac's official arrival for the sport in 2026. As soon as the news hit the headlines, a fresh wave of speculation about who will drive the initially Ferrari-powered cars next year emerged. Of course, they are going to have Ferrari customer engines for 26, 27, possibly 28, but 28 they are apparently going to make their own engines. What they will be badged as is anybody's guess. It might just be Cadillac, there could be another brand under the GM umbrella, of course. Mick Schumacher, who was at the Race of Champions in Sydney, Australia at the weekend, thinks that he could be a candidate. At this point, everything is an option, the German told Sport Week. As I have said in various interviews, I feel that I have what it takes for Formula One, but we have to wait and see what happens. The year is still strong, and the goal is to return for 2026. Most insiders think that Andretti's existing top driver in IndyCar, Colton Herta, is the obvious favourite, something openly acknowledged by Cadillac figures as well. One of the signs that it will be him is that he is the highest paid IndyCar driver with $7 million per year, said driver and pundit Renger van der Zande, the man with the best name in motorsport, apart from Mike Crack. We don't hear much from Crack these days. The rest get around 3 to 4 million, if that. IndyCar wages are really low for motorsport. That's because they have actually already offered Herta a contract in Formula One. Another Dutch pundit, Jack Plew, I don't know, answers on a postcard please, told Ziggo Sport that he thinks George Russell is in the running for the other seat, especially as he thinks that Britain will be pushed out of Mercedes by Max Verstappen. God. But Aston Martin's new simulator driver, Danny Juncadella, thinks that it would be great injustice if Herta's IndyCar rival Alex Palou is not considered by Cadillac. If Palou doesn't enter the frame for one of these seats in 2026, I'm going to set X on fire, he joked on the social media platform. And each and every one of the seats and brands to which I belong are in danger, since I'm not responsible for the actions of my keyboard, Cadella Julie continued. At least I'm warning you. Right, okay, well that's certainly an interesting rumour at the end there. Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't usually read the articles before I actually read them out to you guys, just to get my initial kind of reaction. Some interesting theories there. Yeah, I mean, I've thought that, Verstappen could one day go to Mercedes, but I don't see it particularly likely, right? I think if he's going to leave Red Bull, I think he's going to go to Aston Martin. So the whole George Russell to Cadillac thing, that's the first time I've heard that one. I'm not sold on that. Mick Schumacher, again, with the greatest of respect to Herr Schumacher, he is not the best driver in F1. He did not acquit himself particularly well, and I don't think Cadillac will go with him. I think they've got much better options. Now, Mario Andretti, who's their senior advisor, F1 legend, IndyCar legend, motorsport legend, pretty legendary guy. He's basically said that they want an experienced F1 driver and they want a guy that is new to F1 who comes in from IndyCar. So let's just focus on the IndyCar guy. Now, Colton Herta is the obvious candidate. He is a Andretti driver. He is someone who will very much fit into that mold. He knows the kind of personnel and stuff like that. Is he ready for F1? Yeah, I think he could give it a go. But personally, I think that Alex Palou would be an incredible option. And there is reasons for this, right? Because he is currently being sued by my team McLaren. Now, that lawsuit is potentially $30 million, which that's a lot of money, even for an IndyCar champion, a 3-time IndyCar champion, potentially 4-time after this season. He won the opening round in St. Petersburg the other week, I should say. Now, if he does end up having to pay that big kahuna of a legal bill and also that lawsuit as well, then I think it's entirely possible that he might have to go to F1 to get the money to pay for it. Now, I don't know how that's going to go. He might not have to pay anything like $30 million. I imagine he'll have to pay some kind of settlement because, yeah, contract breach. I've already done a video going in depth about it. It's basically a breach contract. That's the reason why he didn't drive for McLaren Arrow over in IndyCar, and he just stayed at I think I forget the team's out Penske. But I do think that is possible, and I think Palou will be a better driver for it. I really do. So it's if they can get him, because he is a McLaren associate at that point. McLaren would probably want to push to get him in the F1 car. I don't see that being the most likely, but it's possible. And then the experienced driver, why is Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas not mentioned? Why is Kevin Magnussen not mentioned? I think they're better candidates or more likely candidates than George Russell and Mick Schumacher. So for me, those two F1 drivers, Schumacher and Russell, I don't think that's particularly likely. I think the two IndyCar drivers they mentioned, though, they are two definitely in the frame, without a doubt. Who do you think is going to drive for Cadillac in 2026, guys, when they join the grid? Your thoughts in the comments below. And for much more F1 content like this, do keep it tuned here to the F1Chronicle.com, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day, and hope we have a great race to start the season in Australia this weekend as well. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. Head over to Substack or Patreon if you want to help keep the lights on some more around here. And yeah, see you very soon.